Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to World United Press. I am Elijah Dominguez. I am your host. Today's news is regarding the First Amendment, and I want to talk about corporations, government, and schools, and the restriction of the First Amendment, and how how we are basically programmed to obey from the minute we get into the schooling to the last moment we die. I'm Elijah Dominguez, and this is World United Press. Let's get started. Today's video is regarding the topic of the First Amendment. I have noticed throughout history that the victors are the ones who are usually the ones who write the story. And as I was going through the old history books of schools in my local area, and I noticed they were old, out of date, and inaccurate. This was very concerning to me because obviously we don't want to teach our kids inaccurate history because history is important. Now, we have to keep in mind, right now we currently have bans on everything. Bans on the Confederate flag, bans on words, bans on this, ban on that, ban on sodas, ban on plastics. We're banning everything. But the thing is, we're failing to understand and comprehend it. Well, if you don't understand it and you just leave us blind to the fact and we just ban it, well, it's banned. Well, then you're not giving us any moment of comprehension, you're not giving us any moment to understand, you're just taking action. See, the difference between us, the United States, and any other country in the world is that freedom of speech, that right to say what the hell we want, whether it's a good opinion or bad opinion. Now, keep in mind, an opinion is just an opinion. It's just that, an opinion. And I have been watching very closely, and I have noticed all types of censorship. I'll use Donald Trump's gun as an example. The Florida shooting when they shot the schools. That was a great example of a fake news propaganda piece by the mainstream media. And I'll elaborate. And I don't mean the shooting. I mean the propaganda of banning of rifle, guns, automatic weapons. We should have all sorts of weapons, any weapons we want, even weapons of mass destruction, if applicable to the situation. Obviously, you don't want to have a weapon that you're not going to need use for. Well, I have this nuclear warhead here, but I'm not going to need it. And we should be able to discharge our guns. Now, there's a problem with the gun laws right now. I believe that we should have a fingerprint to the gun. So if I shoot you, bang, it's specifically printed to my finger. Kid can't shoot himself. Nobody can have a shooting accident. My kid, or anybody's kid can't just go and grab the gun and go and shoot the school up. It has to have your specific individual fingerprint. That would be a solution to some of these shootings. Now, the banning on guns, Adolf Hitler did the same thing in 1938, and then he took over the country. I believe we're going down the same route. They're going to take all our guns away, and we're going to lose our rights to rifles, guns, anything, firearms, and that they already have a disarmament program created. Now, this is an issue because, obviously we have the right to defend ourselves. Our government created the Second Amendment right not to protect ourselves from foreign agents. Well, technically, yes, they're foreign agents, but to protect us from outside people coming into our house. Yes, it was meant for that. It was meant to protect our life, liberty, and property. Now, we get arrested and put into involuntary servitude, where we lose our First Amendment. I had a situation similar where I was filming and recording police officers, And these police officers decided to retaliate. This is in Martinez. This is in California. If anybody wants to call them, feel free. 925-372-3440. Just tell them Eli sent you, and tell them you want to talk to a Mike Estenal. Mike Estenal. Tell him you want a Freedom of Information report on the oath of offices. This police department had falsified oath of offices in order to protect their officers in the court of law after they willfully violated the First Amendment and knowingly willfully violated the First Amendment. I am the individual that asks questions at a city council meeting, asks the tough questions, and of course I get revolt back. Now I've recently had a situation where the FOIA was denied or never responded to. Well, when an individual does not reply to a FOIA, well, that's a violation. That's a violation of law, and that's an automatic FOIA. That's an automatic civil case for FOIA. People don't need to realize that you have remedies. You need to find out what your remedies are. The First Amendment is that what protects us from being a communist state, having no free speech, restrictive press, which technically we already have a restrictive press with the mainstream media. I'll use another example, Corona. First off, nobody can speak on Corona. No alternative medias will ever speak on Corona. Anybody who does an alternative story that doesn't fit with the quota, that is they get either banned from a platform, they get ridiculed or called a conspiracist, or they said the medical misinformation, whatever it may be that they're trying to classify you under to discredit you. In the Trump issue with the Trump and the Florida shooting, I wanted to go into more detail on that. I know I didn't go into detail on that. With the propaganda of guns. Again, these are showing forms of propaganda. When it's one-sided, and one side argues one is the only one that can have an opinion, and that their side is so weak that nobody else can take an opinion up, then you know that it's false. That's how you really know that it's false news. That's the difference between false news. Now, I want to use the Trump shooting in Florida where they propagandized the malicious banning of firearms for individuals, which has been done in every other country, which is now obviously military occupied. We are on the verge of military occupation. Donald Trump had a school shooting in Florida. The shooting in Florida was propagated on the media time and time again, saying we need to ban more guns. The lawyers, politicians were like, we need to ban guns. Law ban, ban. And then Trump said something that shocked the media. He said, arm the teachers. Now, that goes against everything that the media stands and the propaganding. Well, we don't want the people armed. No, we don't want to give the teachers arms. There is actually in the 1033 program, which is the military-operated program for the police department, there's a program in which an executive order was put out during some of these shootings. I don't remember the exact one. I'll look it up again. This individual allows armed guards to be funding to be given to the police, the schools for guards. Now, I also have concerns with this because now this goes to school issues. Because once Donald Trump said on the teachers, media blackout. No more of it. None of it was ever played again on the Florida shooting. It just died. It was case closed, like Sandy Hook. shows propaganda because somebody of power had an opinion, and he said it publicly and openly to the media, so on live national television so everybody hear it. But it just goes to show again that the media will cover up things that they don't want to show or want people to know. Well, we don't want people to be armed. We don't want people to know that a mayor is corrupt. The HR campaigns are only there to protect them. Now, the issues with the schooling is, well, you have cameras set up on the roofs. You have armed guards now in the schools. And now you have issues because you have pat-down searches. That's a Fourth Amendment violation. Well, just get used to it, kid. You're going to be being pat down for the rest of your life because you're a minority. It's normalizing police state-like behavior. And military state police are these. Yes, and I said military state police. They are a standing army in violation of the Constitution. The National Guard, who resides within the states and can reside and aid within the states, is a standing army. Violation of the third Amendment. This is ridiculous. And anybody who has an opinion on the internet, whether it's right or wrong, it gets banned. I got banned multiple times I got completely banned from Facebook, completely banned from I got banned from YouTube on one of my pages. This is like my third page that I set up. That I set up regarding, what's going on in the world, and our rights are being oppressed. When we have no rights to say anything in court, and the judge puts their hand up like this, like the overseer, no, that's enough. I say, when they do this, tell them, are you swearing an oath? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And when you do that, they'll react differently. Because you have to think on your toes with these guys. Lawyers aren't here to help you; they're oppressors. I was watching a thing on Joe Brown, and Joe Brown was talking about the jacket. He was an attorney, right? He was talking about the jacket. Well, I couldn't resist the jacket, and the interviewer asked him, well, you are referring to the case, right? And he goes, yes, I'm referring to the case. Now, this case was regarding a domestic violence, a case involving a child, and this child obviously is worth money to the state because the state has a financial interest in the matter, and because they have a financial interest in the matter, that's a conflict of interest in any case. Judge Brown should have known that. They also take incentives. Joe Brown was only there for the money. So when you see these rich, powerful people like a Joe Cochran or Judge Joe Brown or whoever the fuck's on TV, and they're saying, we're standing up for these people's rights, remember that they're doing this because they want, first, the media attention to the business, second, they want the money, and third, we are important. We are the last thing on that totem pole. But remember that they only duties to the court. They get incentives as employees. Again, that's a conflict of interest. In 1988 and 1999, there was OIG reports of fraud, and they defrauded using birth certificates, creating citizenships, and people who speak out get silenced. And it's a fact that you have freedom of speech until you speak out against the government. Well, that's all I really have to say today. Thank you for your time, taking time out of your busy schedule to watch me rant and rave or whatever you may think. I hope that this has been very informative to you, and that people realize that in order for us to have an open dialogue, we have to be able to speak to each other in a civil manner. And if you can't speak to an individual in a civil manner, then don't say nothing to them. You know? And so in closing, have a wonderful day. Take care. I got a lot of paperwork to do. As you can tell, I got a lot of paperwork to do. And, we'll continue to fight, really fight for human rights. And hopefully some of my friends will get out. That these courts will see, well, these DAs have been unjust and unfair towards the defendants, and that they get released, and we'll continue to fight for people. Even if it costs us our lives, it doesn't matter at this point, because, every person's life and every individual life is important. Thank you for watching. Share, subscribe, comment, share this with your friends. Put this on your feed. Let people know what's going on. That in California, First Amendments are being severely suppressed. Civil rights are being violated of inmates. Schools are committing illegal pat-downs. Let people know. Share this with everybody. Thank you, and have a great day.